This is the Russian T34-85. It's a tier 6 medium tank in the tech tree. To many people, this is the tank that won World War II. However, is that the case in World of Tanks Blitz? Have Wargaming got it right, or have they done this tank a great injustice? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Hello again everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and today we're going to be having a look at this little beastie, the T34-85, the Russian tier 6 medium tank, which many believe is the tank that won World War II. I mean, there were certainly a lot of them, and it was certainly one of the best tanks ever produced. That's what it looks like in the game. This is the render from Armor Inspector. But let's have a look how you get your paws on this thing. So this is the Russian tech tree that we have in the game, and we're going to go into this in more detail to see how you get along. So zooming in, basically, you start the split here at the T34, which realistically is the T34-76, which is the tier 5 Russian medium. Once you get the T34, you then have a choice. You can either go down the light route, or you can split and go down the medium route. The light route will lead you to the MT25, which will then go to the LTTB and the T54 lightweight, or you can drop down to the medium line, which is where the T34-85 sits. So as you can see here, this is now the medium line that splits from the T34, and the split starts at tier 6, with the T34-85 being that first tank in tier 6 on the Russian mediums. That will then take you down and through the T43, the T44, and you will then come to the T54. There you will rejoin the line. If you went down the light route from the T54 lightweight, you'll drop back down to the medium T54. Once you've rejoined the line, you can then move and progress towards the T62A or the Object 140. Either way, it's quite an interesting line, mainly because you get the choice of either going down the light tank route or the medium tank route. The choice is completely yours. At the end of the day, you end up at the same place, at tier 9 with the T54 medium tank, which then will split to two tier 10 medium tanks, both of which are nice tanks. So let's have a look at those stats. This is the T34-85 stats, and as you can see, if you've got all the top modules loaded, then the damage is pretty low. I mean, but then again, we are looking at a tier 6. The rate of fire isn't that great. I mean, you're going to be knocking out 8 rounds a minute. Penetration, that's about average. Armor, we'll get to that in a moment. Speed is quite good, and so is the rotation. But let's have a look at those more detailed stats. So looking at the more detailed stats, I'm not going to lie to you, this on paper is an average tank. It's got average hit points. We'll get to the armor later. It has average concealment. DPM at 1600 isn't the best, and a reload time of just shy of 7.5 seconds seems pretty long. You can see there that the penetration values are pretty average, along with its damage. It has 7 degrees of gun depression, which isn't good, but it does have a nice turn of speed. So we've had a look at the stats. Now let's have a look at its armor, and as you can see, it's not a heavily armored tank. It's a tier 6 medium. How does it fare penetration wise? Well, this is it stacked up against a KV-1S, a tank that it will meet, and okay, it's a heavy. But as you can see, it's pretty wide open. You can pen it almost anywhere. At a push, you can side scrape in it, but there's no point trying to go hull down. A KV-1S will pen it quite easily, and that's with its standard ammunition. If I whack in the APCR, you can see there's very little, if any, change. I mean, this thing is lightly armored, guys. So that's the stats, but this is one thing I wanted to show you. Tank compare. So I've put in the T34-85, which is a tech tree, the T34-85 Victory, which is a premium, the Type 58, which is a Chinese, and I've also put in the tier 7 T34-85 Rudy. And as you can see, the T34-85 isn't the best. It's not the best DPM. It's got pretty good penetration. It's the same as the Rudy. Same average damage as the rest of them. Rate of fire isn't the best. When you start looking at the reload, again, it's not the best. Aim time is pretty good, same as the Rudy. You've got the gun depression there of 7 degrees, which is only topped by the Rudy. If you look at all the other ammo when you stick it all in, you can see here, this is not the best tank out of the four of them. And this is what confuses me, because the Victory, the 58, effectively the Rudy, although it is a tier 7, so it has to go up, this is meant to be the pinnacle of the Russian tanks. You can see there that the credit coefficient is only beating the Type 58, and you can see by the win rate, this has the lowest win rate. So when you come to tier 6, you're better off getting the Type 58 in real terms, which is bizarre because that's the Chinese tank, and that is not the tank that won World War II, let's be honest. As I said, if you look at when you change the ammunition to its APCR, it ain't changing much. It's still got the lowest DPM. Same goes when you load up the HE, it still has the lowest DPM. So we've looked at the armor, we've looked at the stats. What about the equipment? Well, I generally load it with the adrenaline, along with the multi-purpose restoration pack and track repair, because you do get tracked quite a lot in this thing. Switching over to the consumables, well, what do I normally have with that? Well, sorry, the provisions. Well, I normally have the extra combat rations. Why? Because I want that DPM to go up, I want that reload time to be better, I want that aim time to move. I also stick in the protective kit, and on occasion I will jump between improved fuel, but I normally use this condensed milk. Again, I want the crew skills to come down. As for the ammo loadout, well, I don't run it with this type of ammo. I actually lower the APCR and I increase the AP. That's just because you get quite good pen with the AP anyway. It's not that bad, there's not much in it. Equipment rise, I stick in the gun rammer rather than using calibrated shells, although I do switch in swap depending on my mood. Vitality, well, of course I use the defense system because I think it's a must. I then have the improved optics, no reason to have a camo net on a medium tank. I want that aim time to come down, so I use the enhanced laying device. Sometimes I use the enhanced armor to give me that 4%, sometimes I increase it to hit points, it depends on how you're feeling. I then have the engine accelerator and, as per usual, the vertical stabilizer. There's no point having the refined gun on this one. So that's all the boring stuff out of the way. What's the tank actually like to play in the game? Well, despite the fact that I showed you in Tank Compare it's not exactly the best of the T34s that you can get at tier 6, I actually like this tank. I think it's a nice little tank. To be honest with you, I haven't played it for a long time, but I'm now grinding it on my Asian account, and I like it. I like it because it's actually a very nice tank to play. It's got a good turn of speed, it's got good mobility, it has actually got a very nice gun. You can live with the reload at 7 seconds, as you see, because I've put the equipment and the crew skills. It's got it down from that 7.5 to 7 seconds. I don't generally struggle with the penetration on this thing, and okay, it dishes out average damage. I mean, look, there's 200 there going in, but it's enough, and that's the thing. And okay, well, bounce nothing here, but I'm able to move the tank into nice positions, get some good shots in. They very rarely go wild, even though the aim time takes a while to come down. It's actually a pleasant tank to drive in. And as you can see, I mean, if you like your medium stroke, it's more like a light tank because it's got good speed. I mean, look at this, we're churning out 50 odd kilometers an hour here. And I like this tank, and I'll never ever stop liking it. Okay, the Type 58 seems better. Okay, the Rudy, which is a tier higher, is much better. But you know what? I actually prefer this tank to the T34-85 Victory. That is a tank I actually struggle in. I don't struggle in this one, but I struggle in the Victory. Okay, we had bad pen there, but it's an AT25. I mean, they're notoriously heavy armoured tanks, and you've got to hit that bottom plate. We're not setting the world on fire. We're churning out 1600 damage here. It's enough. I mean, I like the tank, and I think it's a good tank to get. Like I said, we don't set the world on fire. Just over 1000 damage. We only kill one tank, but we get a third class. But I'm not showing you the tank's full potential until now. This is a game I played the other day on Faust, and you'll see what this tank really can do if you play it the way the tank should be played. So I'm going here to the top left hand corner on Faust. We've already spotted something. You only get 7 degrees of gun depression. Sometimes it's just about enough. So we've already spotted and smacked that little Lippard. Okay, it's a light tank and it's a tier 5. But look at this. I mean, the elevation on the tank, on the gun, is quite good. We're going to forget the Cromwell and go for the Lippard, get him out of there. He's now gone. So, you know, you can have a lot of fun in this thing. Here comes the elevation again with the gun. Nice roll, 223 into the Cromwell. That 7 degrees gun depression, is it going to work? Yes, it is. When a tank is like that, there's the SU-100. We can get good shots into him. Not struggling to pen, getting high rolls of over 200. That's nice. And look at that. I mean, the gun, when it wants to, when the gunner is on his day on top form, this thing is a dream. So we've already done 1200 damage. We've already killed one tank. We haven't had our paint scratched yet, realistically. There comes that SU again. He's looking for trouble, clearly. We're just able to smack him quite nicely. Oh, there's a Chini. Let's have a go at him as well. He hurts us, but it's only 150. We're now at 1600. Oh, there's a KV2. We need to escape him because he will hurt. However, I think he completely messed up that shot. Not to worry, we're going to get out of dodge. We're now surrounded by lots of enemy tanks. Let's kill the SU. No, we're not going to kill the SU. We low roll him. Well, it wasn't a low roll. We just leave him on a few hit points. He's going to chase me down, however, which I don't think that's a good idea, Mr. SU-100. But hey, I'm going to put you out of your misery. There we go. So we've now killed 2 tanks. We've done 1900 damage. We've lost quite a lot of hit points. But look at this. Gun elevation is good. Mobility is good. We're able to back away. Now we're going to get up close and personal, present our turret to him, see if we can get a bounce. And maybe we shall. Yes, there we go. We get the bounce and we're able to finish him off. That's our 2nd kill. I thought that was the 3rd kill, but hey. Now we've got the Cromwell. He's still there. Goodbye, Crommy. Kill number 3. 2,300 damage. However, we've got 155 hit points and a KV2 to contend with. Do you really want to brawl with a KV2? Well, thankfully, our KV2 comes in, takes the attention away from us to an extent. I didn't cap any bases in this game, by the way. KV2 is attention is elsewhere. This allows me to then move in, put another shot in. He's on a long reload, remember. I'm able to move up to him like this with the mobility of the tank, try and avoid his gun. There we go. Look, we're going to avoid his gun nicely, and now we're just going to utilize his very slow turret turn and effectively circle him to death. And this is why I like the T34-85, because you can do things like this. He's given up on me, allows me to kill him. Just the KV-1S left. He's toying with the Thunder. I don't get the shot in, but we do 3,156 damage. We take 4 kills. We're in the thick of the action. That is why I love the T34-85. We get a nice mastery, and wow, that is a beautiful tank. So anybody who says that the T34-85 is rubbish, they're wrong. So that's my video on the T34-85. I've been Fujit. I hope you enjoyed that. Guys, this isn't a nasty tank at all. Okay, it's not the best T34 variant you're going to get in tier 6, but you know what? It's not the worst either. The Type 58, the Chinese tier 6 medium, which is basically the same tank, on paper looks better, but you know, I have fun in this thing and I love every minute of it. Anyway, by all means, comment, like and everything below. I'd like to say a big thank you to all my subscribers, because without you these videos would be completely meaningless, and a big thank you to my Patreons, because without you these videos would be harder. And as per usual, a big shout out to my one and only YouTube member, HyperSpider7. Thanks, mate. If you've got any decent replays, guys, send them to me across to fujitsblitz@gmail.com, or put them on my Discord server, whatever is easier for you. And until the next time, I will say my usual stuff. Stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking, because that's what it's all about, having fun and being happy.